Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Branding Iron, episode 9. I'm here with Blake from Ingram Entertainment. Why don't we start with a little bit background on how did you get into the line of business that you're in?
Excellent. Yeah, great to be here. Blake, we're here with Ingram Entertainment, known as DJ Ascension. So I've got that name about almost 17 years ago. And
so you've been doing DJ related stuff for 17 years?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yep. And
so now it's in your blood that you can't stop, right?
I counted how many steps it was from the car to your front door without even noticing. Yeah, it's just a part of you, you know. Yeah.
So how did you what got you into the business?
Well, a trumpet player since the 5th grade, and growing up watching my dad play in bands, and he still plays in rock bands. Music was just always like ingrained in me and kind of a part of my life.
Yeah.
So when my friend got a pair of turntables, I naturally got a knack for them, I guess, and picked up what you call the itch. And so that's when I learned scratching, because you got to scratch the itch.
Yeah.
So picked that up and took a break for a couple of years. And then it turns out my buddy who had the turntables, his living situation wasn't the best. So I was like, why don't you come live with me on the account of you bring them turntables?
Yeah.
Yep.
And so now you can practice a lot, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, cool. You grew up in Phoenix, or where'd you grow up?
Moved around a bit. Northern California, Bay Area, Vacaville, Fairfield, and then to the North Shore of Oahu, and then back to...
That must have been neat.
That was amazing, yeah.
Like, how long did you live there?
I was there from like 3rd grade to almost 6th grade.
Did you surf?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty gnarly learning to surf on those waves,
Yeah, that's a hard place to learn. Where was that, like near Waimea, or...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we lived right down the street from Waimea, and Sunset Beach Elementary School is what I attended, which was right across the King Kamehameha Highway from Sunset Beach, neighboring the Bonsai Pipeline. So we would watch the Triple Crown of surfing at recess.
Nice.
It's nuts. So blessed, man.
Yeah, you don't want to learn on pipeline. That's... I watched a movie a long time ago called Riding Giants.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Absolutely, with Larry Hamilton.
And so pipeline is where if you fall off, you're going to get shredded on the coral.
Yeah,
or barnacles or whatever.
That's not a learning wave there.
Yeah, you got one mistake.
Yeah, and you're lucky if you make it out of there. Yeah, really intense. But
so, brothers, sisters?
Yeah, 2 older sisters.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
And then you guys moved
So there, actually, after Hawaii, we moved back to California, and then we went to northeastern Arizona, up into the White Mountains, Show Low, Pine Top Lakeside area. Yeah. So that's where I graduated high school, and where my family is now living.
So kind of a small town guy, would you say, even though you live in the big city? Is that still a frame of mind, or is that?
Oh goodness, no! Thank goodness it was never a frame of mind.
Okay.
I grew up, in larger areas and cities, and was actually born in Tucson, but wasn't there for very long. Yeah. And then moving from my freshman year of high school, I was about one of 7,000 in the high school. And then when we moved to Show Low, I remember we rolled into town at 2 a.m, and we saw the "Welcome to Show Low, Arizona" sign. Elevation 7,000, population 7,000. I said, Mom, where did you take me?
Yeah, there's more people in my other school, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, than there was in the entire town. So it was a bit of a culture shock. Had to find creative ways of being entertained with friends without getting into trouble.
Oh, well, yeah, that's kind of hard to do.
Very hard.
In a small town. I grew up in a small town, so that's why I asked about the mentality. The main mentality I was thinking was something like where you get to the big city and you're friendly with everybody because that's how you were before, right? You're like,
right.
Hey, how you doing? I'm from nowhere, and they're like, whatever. Why are you talking to me? You're like, oh.
You waving at someone smiling on the freeway,
hey,
and they give you the bird.
Yeah, right.
Like, hey, what the heck?
I moved from a really small town not as small as Show Low, but maybe 10,000 people. It was about almost 1,000 miles from civilization.
Wow, where was this?
Northern Canada.
Oh, wow.
And one of the first things that me and my friends did and this is hilarious, for fun, we had almost no money, is we would buy tickets for the SkyTrain. And at night and ride it back and forth and look at everything out the window.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, look at all those buildings, look at all those people.
Wow.
Let's go back. And we'll go the other way.
Do it again.
All the way to the... Yeah.
Well, what else is there to do now? Do it again.
That was $1.50. That's cheap. So,
Oh, yeah.
So then when did you move to Phoenix?
I moved to Scottsdale about 8 years ago now.
All right.
Yeah. Wow, it's been that long already. What brought me down here was Scottsdale Community College.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go Artichokes.
Yeah, the home of the Fighting Artichokes, the weirdest mascot ever. Yeah, I found out about...
There's not many colleges that have a vegetable as their mascot.
No.
Artie the artichoke.
I don't know what it is. And if you really look at it, he doesn't look like an artichoke. But...
He almost looks like that... what is it? That hop guy from Elysian...
Right. Yeah, the Elysian Brewery.
Elysian
Brewery.
Yeah, Elysian, yeah.
Yo, that's right. He looks like a beer hop.
Yeah.
More than an artichoke.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I could always make the switch. I'm pretty sure, it goes kind of with college. So.
Well, the history with that, actually, I heard from another professor, is that when the college was being founded, it was primarily being founded by a lot of liberal artists that wanted to use a lot of the government funding to build the fine arts program.
Okay.
But they met a lot of opposition and they were forced to utilize a vast majority of the funds for the athletic department. And they didn't want to do that. So they made the most ridiculous mascot, and their original school colors were pink and baby puke green.
Nice.
So no one would want to go there to play sports.
Sabotage.
Right.
Right on. Yeah.
Yep, so that's the history on that.
And then, so getting into Ingram Entertainment, did you just say, have you ever worked for anybody else, or you just been working for yourself the whole time?
Yeah, basically, I've been working for myself ever since I had a car accident that kind of derailed my life, but then built it up to where it is now. And
you get seriously injured and everything?
Yeah, I broke both my kneecaps and couldn't walk for 3.5 years. So it ended about 4 different careers. But
how long ago was that?
That was about 9 years ago.
Okay, so now your kneecaps are doing all right, or you
seem
to move around quite a bit.
They're doing enough to wakeboard, so I'm happy with that.
Right. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I have about 85% of my left knee, so it's about there. I just can't run more than 2 miles or so, But I can bike forever. So
okay, yeah, the impact is really
but the impact is where it's at.
So that means, I guess, if you've got a pretty strong entrepreneurial spirit, being that you haven't worked for anybody else, or I don't know do you think you could or would you just die?
Oh boy.
Suffocate.
I don't know.
Yeah, you haven't even thought about it because it's not even.
Well, I've worked with a lot of people along this way, and that's what I continue to look at it and like to look at it with, because we're co-creating things together, and that way there's not anyone.
But not just
some
a
sort of
check-in,
hierarchy
9 to 5 where you
or,
clock in and you're go to your cubicle or do something and you're man, I don't want to do this.
True.
That's pretty rare, because there's not a lot of people that have not worked for other people.
It's true, and it's not for everyone. It's a 9 to 5 is sometimes nice because you can go home at 5. Me, I'm just kind of always on, slightly. And then
it's like sleep mode, but not actually sleeping.
Right. And it's different sleep modes too. Juggling now teaching as well. So
what do you teach?
So I came to Scottsdale Community College because they have the world's first and only Associates of Arts degree in DJing. And
that's interesting.
Became the first recipient of this degree. Yeah. And so shortly after that, they hired me on to teach it. So I was teaching up to 9 classes, but then I took a break. And then I'm back now teaching this semester MUC 137 Digital DJ Techniques, which is part of this Associates of Arts degree that you can transfer to major universities by becoming a DJ.
That's incredible. That's weird,
Yeah.
So now does your company have employees, and do you find that maybe some of the people you're teaching are the talent that you'd like to bring on board? And that's pretty cool. You're developing your own pipeline.
Definitely, and working closely with an amazing mentor, Ryan Ingram, and Ingram Entertainment. The reason why I'm sitting here before you today
Yeah.
is because he plugged me into the BNI chapter.
Okay.
And that's how, I'm able to meet all of the incredible people within there and gain even more mentorship.
Yeah.
For building a better business and expanding into more employees and things like that. So right now, Ryan and I are working really closely together and building an amazing pipeline for all of the leads generated and cool clients that are coming in for corporate events.
So
and
what kind of
weddings and all
actual
that.
like jobs do you guys do and like to do? Like, describe your niche.
Yeah, definitely. So corporate events and weddings and private events, bar mitzvahs, even like your own party that you may want to throw in your backyard, all the way up to large scale festival involvements.
So do you own all the equipment, or do you have to like rent some stuff because sometimes it's too big? Or
it all depends on the client's imagination and really essentially their budget. Yet we are capable of building a large scale festival all the way down to mobile DJ rigs with
the festival stuff really is interesting to me because back in the day when Lollapalooza was a traveling concert, I got to see that quite a few times, and you always get to see stuff that you wouldn't normally, because there's quite a bit of overlap. Like they would have like rap and rock and alternative and everything kind of all mixed together. Have you guys put together like any sort of festival type stuff around here?
We've had involvement in many, and bringing in like dance troops and DJs and things like that, fire performers as well, and also MCs is a really, really
obviously
big
like
specialty
whatever that somebody else handles who's going to be playing and all that kind of stuff, but they're going to need equipment, I guess, and
definitely, and where we can really
other stuff.
Where we're also a big backbone in that is in between acts, where there's changing over the stage setups and everything like that. DJing in between those, and also MCing and keeping the whole party going.
Okay,
so
DJing, otherwise it's just complete silence, or you got to listen to the radio guy come out there and talk. And
right. And it's usually you bring up a great point. It's usually like two different people, right? There's like a DJ and then a radio guy. But where at Ingram Entertainment we have a great repertoire of DJ MCs that are both really, really able and capable of rocking the crowd, moving the crowd, mastering the ceremony, and also MCing, EMCEE. Those are the three different MCs.
Okay.
That can really rock the crowd and know how to control that mic. That mic control is essential. So one of my mentors said that the turntables can make you money, but the microphone will make you rich.
Right. So how do you guys what are you doing for marketing? Like
great question. Right now
works?
we really don't need to market so much because of our combined experience and presence in the current marketplace already.
Your contacts,
that we have great referrals. So we get most of our stuff by word of mouth referral and personal referrals, which is why BNI is such a great thing that adds on to that, because what happens when you think like, I need a DJ. Well, is it for a wedding? For what? Okay, yeah. Well, like, who do you call? You usually start reaching out to your friends that are DJs, or hey, wait, my cousin knows a DJ. Let's give him a call. And then that cousin's like, oh yeah, I'll DJ your wedding for $50. And that's when you run and you call Ingram Entertainment.
So in the beginning though, like, did you guys have any sort of like out of the box type thinking that maybe kind of bootstrapped you into this position?
Definitely the importance of the MC. That's critical. Yeah, and just being personal.
What was your first show?
Oh man, my first show that I ever DJ'd.
These are like some of the stories I like to hear. Like the first, if you look back, like our first rap is like so hideous. I don't even know where it is. I don't even want to look at it. But we learned pretty quickly like what works and what doesn't. But so if you go back into your like first.
Yeah, so the one that really stands out the most there is the first mix I ever made. It was on 2 turntables that I got from different garage sales, an old Radio Shack mixer, and a 5-disc CD changer from a home entertainment system. May have a piece or 2 up at my mom's house because she's a hoarder, cool. And I get it a little bit too. So
keep that, frame it, whatever, stick it on the wall.
Yeah, the first turntable. So how I taught myself how to DJ was recording myself and then listening to it. And when you're in the mix, you're all excited. Oh my God, that was awesome. You listen to it later and it's terrible. So like you do that, a dozen or so times, you get better and you better and better and better and better. So it's basically how I taught myself how to DJ before going to SCC. And then I took that first actual mix that I thought was worth a damn, and I brought 1 copy of it with me on CD. I first recorded it to cassette, and then I put it on CD. Nice. So the quality wasn't the best, but it was there. And I brought 1 copy of it with me to Burning Man. My first year I ever went to Burning Man.
Oh, awesome.
And I gave it to one person that I met there. And 7 days later, during mass exodus, when there's, at the time, about 32,000 people in cars lined up leaving the city, all listening to the same radio station because you can only get one radio station out there, and that's Black Rock Radio. Yeah. I start hearing my mix played in the van, and I'm like, hey, who put my CD in, and how did you get it? They're like, no, this isn't your CD, bro. This is Black Rock Radio. And I was like, wait. What are you talking about? It was Bob Dylan knocking on heaven's door, mixed into the Chemical Brothers, mixed into the Faint, mixed into the Brazilian Girls, into Armin van Buuren. Who else would do that?
Right. So
and that was my first mix ever that I ever made, and gave it to one person. And it's playing on Black Rock Radio during like rush hour of the rushest of hours. And then I've lost the van starts rocking back and forth. I'm losing it. I'm like, what's going on? At that moment, I started to consider DJing seriously and started shifting a lot more energy and focus into it. And I later found out.
That's serendipity for you right there, right? Like it's one chance, one person could have been a different person that actually had a CD player and just listened to it themselves.
Yeah.
Do you know who the guy was? Did he like...
Get this, years later, I find him on Instagram. And I reach out and I'm like, hey, do you remember me? And they're like, yeah. And I told them what happened, and they said, oh yeah, when you gave me your CD, I took it to Center Camp. In the middle of Burning Man, there's like a Center Camp area, like a common area. And there was some guy burning copies of CDs randomly. So I gave him your CD and I burned 3 copies. 1 for me to keep, 1 to give to a friend, and 1 to give to the radio. And so after that, I walked over and I gave your CD to Black Rock Radio. And I was like, do you know that they played it during mass exodus and it like changed my whole life? And she's like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, no, literally.
No, like literally, like you changed my life. Like, thank you. And she's like, thank you.
That's hilarious. That's one of the better stories of serendipity that I've heard.
Burning Man's crazy like that.
I would like to go there sometime, but I mean...
Yeah, you should. I mean, we could spend a whole podcast just talking about Burning Man, but yeah. but yeah.
Get my dusk mask, ski goggles, and that kind of stuff ready, right? Because
heck yeah,
I've seen people that didn't do that, and it's horrible without it. I'd imagine.
It depends on the weather.
Yeah.
Some years it's not very dusty, and other times you could be out there, it's totally cool, and then all of a sudden you're in a whiteout. So. Yeah. The goggles and dust masks aren't just for fashion.
No, I can see. Yeah, for sure. And then, so now, like, so how many people do you have your own employees, or you just kind of like contract with?
Yeah, so right now the sole bread and butter of it is Ryan and I, and then we have a vast network of DJs that we can utilize and tap into, and we have a few that we are selecting now to train directly under us and as I say, with us.
Right. To kind of duplicate yourselves a little bit. So.
And now we're starting that duplication process so that, as this network expands with the BNI expansions and all of that, then we can, have a great pipeline to match up clients with incredible DJs that are a great fit.
Where do you guys see this going, say, in a year to 5 years?
5 years, I see me headlining a major music festival in Europe somewhere, while there's like
So you're
5 guys here just crushing the wedding game.
Kind of doing a dual track, like the business is going to go, and also both of you guys are doing like a personal brand as well.
Yeah.
Would in turn drive the business as well.
Definitely. Well, and Ingram Entertainment's going to explode into so many different facets, and such an amazing production company as well. And we are really, really focused heavily on merging the two worlds of bands and DJs. And so we're building and we've actually done a couple of really great performances now for corporate events where we have a DJ as the backbone, and then the drummer plays along with the DJ, and the bass plays along, and we have guitarist and vocalist, and we are actually transitioning songs like DJs, but with a band.
That's interesting. So you would have start out with straight DJ, then the one guy joins in the one and slowly fade, and then the next thing you know, there's the band's playing.
And then the DJ comes out and is rapping with other MCs and breathing fire, breakdancing, and all kinds of stuff.
That'd be crazy. That'd be awesome.
It's gonna be a show, man. We have one coming up on October 25th.
Okay, where's that?
Which is also Ryan Ingram's birthday.
All right, cool. We'll link that up.
Yeah, we can share up the info for that later. Not quite sure. The venue, I think, is still.
Okay, well, it'll be in the link down at the bottom of the screen.
Follow the link at the bottom of the screen.
Right here.
The editor in the back's like looking at what time in the video that was, so he doesn't have to scrub for it later. I love it. You have an amazing setup here. So this is podcast number 9.
Number 9, yeah.
This is great. Yeah. What a
you should sample that into one of your things.
Yeah.
Number 9 from the Beatles. Make everybody leave.
Don't play it backwards.
Number 9. Number 9. All right. Well, I've got to run to another meetings. This has been great. I want to know more about the Burning Man experience. That really is interesting to me.
Definitely, and I would love to know more about you. I was hoping that to have the audience and your listeners know more about you than they didn't before today.
No, yeah. I feel like what I'm doing here, yeah, we like to showcase people such as yourself and get them in tune with maybe some of the ideas that you guys have used to build your business and it's transferable to another business, or even just, hey, man, I need a DJ. There we go.
Yeah.
Or a florist, or a movie or a video editor. Everybody in our group. There's a lot of people in there that have something that somebody's got to need. So I'm going to try and have at least 1 to 2 of them a week here.
Definitely. So, and it's beautiful to see other entrepreneurs that are so intrinsically motivated like yourself, like crushing it with, can we mention smart rap? I mean, I'll mention that all day.
Yeah,
your operation here is clean. It's so cool, from the front office all the way to the back, and then coming here, you got this amazing podcast setup, and the way you just utilize every little space here is amazing.
Maybe we'll have to do a tour and video that so that people know what we're talking about here.
Oh, definitely, and the wall wraps too. People don't really think about that in their homes. That you can not just paint a wall a different color. You can do anything you want on your walls. That's
really business, cool. The foyer area or something like that.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we got a bust. And again, thanks for dropping by.
Yeah. All right.
We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Cheers.
See ya.